Okay, I wanted to go over some things with you today on some conversations I've had actually with several clients. I've had this over the years, many conversations on this. Wanted to tell you a little bit about gold, talk to you about gold, silver, real estate, equities. So many people pick choices in investing and they don't really look at track records. They don't really understand a lot about investing. One of the people I'll tell you that you really should look at, he's got one of the best, in fact, he's got the best long-term track record over 55 years of any investor in the world, and that's Warren Buffett. He's averaged right at 20% per year for 55 years in a row. Nobody has that type of track record that long. I'm going to tell you what he says about gold and silver, then I'm going to show you track records. That doesn't convince you which way to go, then I can't really help you, okay? Because he's the best, and you don't even have to take it from him. Go and look at on the internet. You can pull up charts showing you this. Irrespective of someone else has told you otherwise, these are the things that you need to look at. Warren Buffett's a real believer in equities and also in real estate, especially farmland. He's a big believer in that. And one of the things is that I would tell you is you want to get your taxes as close to zero as you can. Obviously, that's going to make you a lot in saving your taxes. But what you also want to be doing is picking an investment that you think is going to do long term, and an investment maybe you don't even have to be smart in knowing about valuations, debt ratios. You don't need to know a whole lot about looking at balance sheets at all. And you can still beat most of the people out there, about 90%, just by doing things, by listening to people like Warren Buffett, okay? He's a good one to look at. And he's a big believer, like I said, in equities and farmland. He's not the only one. John Templeton was another one. If you pull him up, more people will be familiar with Warren Buffett than John Templeton. But Templeton really more or less started the emerging markets, invested there many years ago, when it was quite young. The whole industry was very young. He was really the first one in that industry. And but I wanted to go over a few things with you. And just to give you an example, you can pull this up on the internet too. I actually took what the Dow Jones Industrial, these are your 30 biggest companies in the U.S., and showing a track record, what they've done over, I ran it actually over gold and the Dow. I ran it over 100 years, okay? And most people are not going to live 100 years, but I wanted to cover the good times, the bad times, where you can kind of see a good, trend over that period of time. And just to give you an example, the Dow did around 65,000% over that time period, okay? That's a huge amount. Gold only did 10,000% over the last 100 years. One percentage point is a big difference, but when you're looking at 55,000% more, there's no comparison. So, and I know people out there be throwing rocks at me because there's a lot of libertarians out there that are gold bugs and silver bugs, but I'm giving you the facts. Now, you can go back over the last 30 years, and the Dow has done, with dividends and everything, right around 9%. Okay, and the gold's had a huge run-up starting around 2000. Right in there. But even with that huge run-up that it did, gold has averaged a little over 5%. Silver has done silver has done pretty dismal, under 2% over the last 30 years. That's pretty bad. And we're taking a good, solid period when metals did pretty good, especially gold. I mean, gold went up quite a bit from 2010. But we're looking at long term. If you look at gold too from the time of Christ, it's done about 0.2%. So people that are jumping in gold and silver, if you look at these track records, you'll see why Warren Buffett says what he says. Don't just listen to him. Go back and look at the track records and what it's done. And these rates of returns I'm showing you does not include the storage cost and insurance costs for gold. And then if you're going to move it and stuff, there's these costs that you're going to have to figure also in the rates of return. And that's the big key. Now I have people say, yeah, but gold is a security. Well, I would say it's almost a guaranteed loss. I mean, you can look at the track records on, I look at inflation, I look at long-term track records, okay? That's what I'm looking at. I don't look at these time periods if, I'm looking at, sure, does gold have bear markets? Yeah, and so does the Dow. But the problem with gold is gold's bear markets can last 20 years. Look at what happened from about 1980 to almost 2000. And gold was in a dismal turndown. And that's a long period to recoup. The average bear market in equities is about a year and a half. So, you know, that's the type of turnaround. I don't call that secure. When you have bear markets that lasting that long, there's people out here that still swear. They'll look at rates returns, they look at charts, they'll look at this and that, and they still don't understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, what I would be doing is go and look at these charts yourself. You can pull them up on the internet and see what I'm talking about. I would much rather have something like real estate or equities. At least there you're getting dividend income. With equities, with real estate, you're getting rental income. And one thing that's nice too about St. Kitts too, they've just opened up the cannabis where you can literally come down here, buy quantities of farmland at good prices. And that's one of the big things that Warren Buffett was talking about. Farmland is one of the best investments you can get into long term, and you're getting not only the income, but you're getting the capital appreciation of the land. And in a country that has no income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, no inheritance tax, you're not going to get any better than that. And there's almost no property tax at all. Anyway, folks, you can pull these charts up yourself. I'm giving you rates returns. You can do your own homework on this. I wouldn't just go in and invest in something and not go and look at these track records that I'm telling you about, because this is what you need to do to measure what an investment, the likelihood it's going to appreciate, and what kind of growth it's going to have rate of return wise. Anyway, folks, if you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says apply with us. Fill out the questions, hit that bottom bar that says send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right of your screen. You'll get new videos automatically as they come out. We got just under 700 videos there. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.